Light up the mic and ignite the flame.
If you're gonna be a Christian artist, stop being so scared to say Jesus in your song. Stop this.
Yo, it's Digital Diego, and I had an awesome experience on the podcast. I'm so grateful I was able to share how good God is and a little bit of my story.
My experience on Preach's podcast was real, raw, and powerful.
We all gotta understand that America is gonna be doomed if they don't change and get right with God right now.
If it wasn't for Preach, I wouldn't have a new view on a lot of things. If you die today, what's going to happen? You know, and it's a beautiful thing, the fact that he would actually, you know, open up my mind a lot more. So it's just so beautiful.
Hearts on fire, chains untied. Jesus alive, we testify.
People are getting angry because Nicki Minaj seems like she is moving from the left and going to the right. Now, I have a lot of things that I am thinking about that is going on right now. Now, here's one of the things. Either she's really not moving from the left. She just playing everybody, fooling everybody. You know, just another of the Democrats' devious and evil schemes they trying to play with everybody to put a mold in the Republican Party and bring everybody down. You know, that would be the smart way. Or she actually is getting sick of everybody. She getting sick of how people view her. She getting sick of how people talks about her. She getting sick of how people just push her around. And she said this at the TPUSA American Fest thing that they just had. Here's the thing. People is getting angry. They saying, oh, we used to like Nicki, right? The outrage of Nicki saying things about how she's praising President Trump, about the different things he was doing. Because a lot of people, if they were honest, President Trump is not doing a bad job, whether you hate him or, you know, didn't hate him. Now, it's some things that he's doing are good, or some of the things he's doing is bad. Some are bad, but like he's doing a lot of things. At least I can say this: at least he's not painting the whole White House or America with the rainbow flag, like they are over everybody. Oh, you're supposed to accept everybody. Like, you can do whatever you want, but don't try to force your opinions on everybody. It's like you try to say about Christians, well, I'm not a Christian. You don't have to force your opinion on me. You're forcing your opinion on us when you try to shove it down our throat and put in every single thing that we look at, watch, we see. You can't watch a movie without this and gay people and trans people and homosexuality, all this and sex on your film. Like, you can't watch anything and be comfortable. But here's the funniest thing that really got me thinking. Everybody was mad at Nicki because she's saying, I'm thanking President Trump because of blah, blah, blah. Which was because President Trump said something about the Nigerians, Christians, that was being persecuted, the genocide that's happening in Nigeria, and people saying nothing about it. They're not saying anything about it because they don't care. This is something it doesn't bother them because they're not Palestinians. They're not going against, it's not going with their agenda, so they're not talking about this. Who care about the Nigerian people, Christian that's dying? Who's thinking about that? And it's like, you really don't care about what's happening. You just feeding like a parasite off of people suffering. And then whatever fits your narrative, whatever that plays a good role with your story, your victim story, you use it. That's what you do. But everybody getting mad at Nicki, right? Because Nicki saying she praised President Trump or all these different things. She's blasting Gavin Newsom. She's saying, I'm always going to speak out for Christians. I'm not saying that she is a Christian. I'm not saying anything like that. That's between her and God. I'm not saying anything until I see more fruits of her actually trying to change. Just because she's saying something, that doesn't mean that she is a Christian. Doesn't mean she is saved and sanctified. But this does mean that she seems like she's trying to move to the right direction. Okay? But where was the outrage when she was twerking on the stage, dressing like some kind of prostitute, literally having songs, that was promoting body parts, promoting sex, drugs, violence, all this type of stuff. Where was that outrage with those things? I didn't see no outrage. You was actually giving everybody a round of applause. You saying, "Congratulations, Nicki. This is good. We like this," because the funniest thing with people, the world is so sick. It's so sick that you guys love wrong, but when somebody tried to move to the right side, then they become wrong because you mad because they're not promoting wrong. Make that make sense. It doesn't. Like I said, I'm not saying Nicki is a Christian. I'm not saying this is actually what Nicki really wants. But what I am saying that I am looking at this closely. I'm studying the fruits. I'm seeing what's actually going on. Because a lot of you guys are just angry because she may not be twerking for you no more. You might not get that thrill that you like to get when you look at her. I guess you can look at videos, your little pervert self. So that's why you're angry. You're angry because of those reasons. So, like I said, I'm going to keep an eye on this story. I'm going to keep an eye on her as well. Like I said, just because somebody sounds good, they preaching the truth or telling the truth, that doesn't mean they actually are trying to change. It just could be, this could just mean that Hollywood just put her there for a minute to fool a lot of people, try to bring Christians on her side, try to get young people to her side. Because, the devil's really into bringing the young people in his crowd, because once you get the future generation, you got control of the narrative. That's what they're doing now. They got control of the narrative. The narrative is to put this woke ideology in people's mind, young people's minds, and then once they do that, and everybody starts thinking like how the government wants them to think, because they fool you saying, if you're going against it, you don't really have your mind, you have their mind. But once you agree with us, you have the correct mind. It's like, what? How is people saying these things, saying that I can be a woman, which you biologically a man, saying all these different things, and that makes sense to you? How did that make sense to you? Tell me. It doesn't. But as I said, I'm going to be watching this story. Keep a close eye on it. And I'll be praying for her. I'll be praying for all the actors and actresses, and hoping that they have not strayed away too far from God. It's not everlasting too late. Because everybody deserves a chance and everybody can change despite how much wrong they done. But if they continue living in sin, there's no other place for them to go when Jesus come back. Only place they are going is to an everlasting flame and torture and damnation. Hey everybody, thank you for supporting the channel. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also, don't forget to watch the other podcast episodes where I interview people and they share their testimony. They talk about the Bible. They talk about politics. We talk about so much on this podcast. Don't forget, be bold. Be bold for Christ.